I cannot resist talking about my week, and I also cannot resist going live.
This motherfucker.
And I also cannot resist rolling this intro.
Good morning.
Transcending history and the world, a tale of souls and swords eternally retold. Welcome to the stage of history retold.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this.
Check it out now. Third strike, yo.
Welcome back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes Adam and Joe. They're the hosts of the show. I'm Adam.
This motherfucker is starting off the pod with bars. I'm Joe. What's up, everyone? Like, can we just appreciate that for a second? Like, so this motherfucker's on a roll. He's good. This motherfucker.
I had that thought in my car on like Wednesday, and I was like, "Oh, that's good," and I just held it in my memories. I was like, "I'm gonna write it down." I forgot to write it down, but I remembered it.
Hey,
God,
there's no one else doing it out here. There's no one out here doing it like Adam. Like, come on.
I don't want to gas myself up that much. This podcast wouldn't be anything without you, okay?
Hey,
but on that note of you, I want to know what happened to you this week. How was your week?
How was my week, man? Shit. If you want me to be completely honest, it was so painfully boring. There was nothing really exciting that happened this week. Again, I am on break waiting for a class to start. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of just looking for things to do, kind of picking things up, trying to keep my mind busy. Because I don't know about you, but I absolutely hate doing nothing. Like, I can't sit there and I can't sit in one spot and do absolutely nothing. I can't.
Agreed.
I don't know. I like right now I'm like I just playing with my AirPods case because like I like to keep myself busy.
Yeah.
Can you tell that something is wrong? But anyways, yeah, I mean my week has been pretty boring, all things considered. The only thing of note that I've done this week is you're gonna roll your eyes at this one, but I've been preparing for the Destiny 2 Witch Queen expansion. I've just been prepping bounties, saving XP to roll into the new season, maybe get a head start. I hope to get around 20 levels, which is kind of a lot. I don't think I'll be able to, but I'm aiming. I'm aiming for that like level 20 on like before I even launch any activities, which in reality I don't need to do. But since we're going into a new year of Destiny, like why not? I've also been playing. I've been playing more of the older activities. And I don't understand why Destiny players are the way that they are. And by that, I mean, is that they'll play like only strictly, they will confine themselves to what's quote unquote relevant and not really go back and play things for fun. And just Destiny players don't have fun. I mean, how could you? You're playing Destiny. You can't have fun. But yeah, on a real note, I've been doing some of the older activities. I've been doing stuff on the moon, nightmare hunts. I've been doing some of the older raids. I've been running back and doing some of the older dungeons, which I forgot how much I love Prophecy. It's such a unique dungeon, and I hope that we get something like it during the next year, which we're already confirmed to get 2 dungeons. So that's good. We don't have any news when it comes to raids. So it's kind of I hope that it isn't just the one raid with Witch Queen. I hope that we get a reprised raid. People are theorizing that it's going to be King's Fall, and let me tell you, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Adam. King's Fall is a bad raid. Now, I know that like you probably don't like you don't really know and you don't really care about that statement, But if I said that to a like regular Destiny player, I would have probably been doxxed by now. Like King's Fall is regarded as a like it's pretty high up there when it comes to fan favorite raids, and I understand why. It was the raid that released with King's Fall, which was Destiny 1's first expansion. It's what put Destiny on the map after Vault of Glass, and but man, going back to it has just I mean, I haven't played it, but I'm sorry, I haven't played it in a very long time by now. But just thinking about going back and playing that raid in D1 just makes me cringe because it's obvious that there's been a huge leap forward when it comes to raid design.
Mhm.
Looking at King's Fall compared to where we are now, like there's way more complex mechanics. You have more encounters, which I guess that like varies from raid to raid. But generally speaking, we have more engaging encounters nowadays. Where King's Fall, the entire final boss fight, you couldn't even do. You quote unquote did damage to the boss, but it came from like these little bombs that dropped in the room, so you weren't actually directly damaging the boss, and it felt like you weren't really doing anything to him. You were kind of just blowing up these bombs, and then you see him get staggered and damaged, and it's like, oh, I guess I did that. So it's kind of it's not as satisfying as pulling out your rocket launcher and blasting the shit out of Atrax. Wrath of the Machine is still the best raid, but yeah, I mean that's been my week. Destiny, more Destiny. Unfortunately, I think it's sad to say, but I think I've put in more time this week than I have in the past few months, outside of the 30th anniversary event, of course. But yeah, I mean, it definitely helps that I have some people to play with. I found a new group of people to start playing with, and that's what I play Destiny for. Like, I hate playing the game solo, and I hate recommending it to people that are only solo players. But with this new group, I've revitalized my interest in Destiny. I feel like I say that like every other week, but
Yep. Pretty much.
it's the Destiny cycle. But I could be playing critically acclaimed MMO RPG, Final Fantasy 14. And I could. I actually it's just a matter of renewing my sub, and at this point I'm just kind of I'm too lost in the sauce, too busy grinding my life away for these bounties and prepping and all that on Destiny. And I feel like you would know this. You would notice my absence on social media because over when I post on twitter.com/kazanerdy, that's twitter.com/KAZANERDI, it's usually me complaining. But yeah, that has been my week. See, you're laughing because it's true.
I'm laughing because you're stuck in the sunken place. That's why I'm laughing. Yeah. I'm laughing because you need to get out.
I'm just too deep in at this point. I literally cannot. I am too deep. I mean, if I didn't have almost 23 or sorry, like across the entire franchise, almost 3,000 hours, I probably would. But like at this point, it's just I can't. I'm being held at gunpoint. I have to keep buying.
You're being held at gunpoint, and it's you who's holding the gun.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's been my week, and I feel like I've talked enough about Destiny for the next maybe month. How about you, Adam? What's been up?
Well, shit. I watched the entire first season of Superman and Lois on HBO Max, and wow, that show is fucking amazing.
Oh, I was not expecting that.
You would not
Okay.
expect it to be good because it was produced by the CW, but they put all of their budget into it, and it shows. It is the best thing that they've produced ever. Better than all of the Arrow shit. Better than.
Well, it's not hard to beat that. But
The first like 2 or 3 seasons of Arrow were pretty good, and the first 2 seasons of Flash were pretty good. But the bar for those was like fairly low. But this just took the bar and chucked it over a tall building in a single bound. Like this is like, I'm telling you, you need to watch this. I'm telling you, you need to watch this. This is perhaps the greatest live action piece of Superman media we've got ever. Period. Full stop. Perhaps. It is up for debate considering there's 2 that people would fight tooth and nail for. That being the first 2 Superman movies, because there's no fucking way in hell anyone could ever think that Man of Steel is better than this. But I'm telling you, it is certainly in the debate. It is that good. It is 15 episodes, an hour an episode, and you'd think that's too much. It is. I was begging for more at the end of episode 1. I was like, no, this is good, which is surprising. Yeah, I think the thing that it does best is that it actually understands what makes Superman good. Because a lot of fucking normies and fucking Twitter checkmark people will be like, Superman's boring. He's got too many powers.
Oh, is that so? Let's hear what you've accomplished since high school, Squiddy.
They will say a lot of shit. But Superman's a fucking great character if he's written well, you know? And I've been saying Superman's great for years at this point, you know? And
yeah,
I think this show truly understands what makes Superman great. It's not, you know, writing him in terms of like struggling with his powers because, you know, he's the most powerful superhero like ever. You know, it's like, okay, you know, that's not what we write about. You write about the struggle with his, you know, with his humanity. And that's weird. Superman's not a human. It's like, okay, but you know, he's not a human physiologically, but he's a human emotionally, you know? Yeah. In this show, the man's got a wife and 2 kids, you know, one of which struggles with his mental health, you know, and it's like, okay, that's interesting. And they go a lot of places with it. And it's like, you can, that's
interesting.
Yeah, they go a lot of places with it. They go a lot of places with it that really work, you know? I don't want to spoil anything because I think that everybody who's listening, if you haven't seen it, you should go watch it. I know they're airing the 2nd season right now, but I can't watch that. I refuse to pay for cable so that I can see the CW. I refuse.
Don't they have a website that you can watch it off anyways?
Maybe. Maybe. Maybe.
Not fucking with CW though. Fuck that.
No. I refuse. Just for a single show, I refuse. But I think that it is well worth your time. It is well worth your time to sit down and watch it because it makes you really care about somebody that most people who aren't. I say most people who aren't hardcore comic fans, like he's not one of the most famous fictional characters ever, but like most people don't really take the time to dig in to think about what makes Superman great.
Right. Yeah.
You know, there are moments in the show where you are obviously in awe, like, wow, that's Superman. That's awesome. But it's like the show really makes you think like, holy shit, this guy's great. And it's like, it also does something that I've been saying for years that a lot of fucking normies and a lot of stupid check marks on Twitter will be like, he wears his underwear on the outside. That looks stupid. But they will take they take the suit from the Max Fleischer Superman shorts and they put it in the show as his first suit. And it works, and it looks awesome. So it's like, okay. I cannot sing the show's praises enough. It's great. I don't know. I can't speak to the quality of the second season because I haven't seen it yet, but the first season is fantastic. It's got some twists in there that'll make you be like, and it's got a lot of good stuff in it. So I watched that. I finished playing through the Force Unleashed 1, and I played through the alternate universe Tatooine and Hoth DLCs. And I think my opinion on that game still stands that it's a fun game to play, but it's also it is also the most fucking annoying video game ever in terms of a story perspective. because it has to make itself so fucking important for no reason. Adding some ridiculously powerful characters that completely shake up the meta of the original trilogy, and then they're just like, oh, well, they died. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. It's like, okay, whatever you say, game. Fuck you.
Yeah. We'll go with that. Yeah.
And again, it's also the most edgelord shit ever. Oh, dude, he trucks Ben into the back of the Millennium Falcon and he turns Luke evil. Oh, it's the most fucking edgelord game ever. It's fun, incredibly edgy. And on another note related to Star Wars, I've also started playing through its sequel because I'm playing through a bunch of Star Wars games now for some reason. And I believe
Gotta go.
Ah, yes, and the last thing I did with my week, because I want to use this, I want to take this segment about Star Wars and segue it into the news. I also started playing through Uncharted: The Legacy of Thieves collection, which is the PS5 upgrades for Thieves End and Lost Legacy. I never played Lost Legacy because I honestly didn't give a shit about Chloe that much. I didn't give a shit about Nadine that much. So, what reason would I have to play Uncharted if it doesn't have my favorite characters in it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm going to use this opportunity to play it now. I played through Uncharted 4. I pre-ordered Uncharted 4 back in 2016, and I played it on launch day, and I completed it within like a day of it releasing, and I fucking thought it was amazing. I cried at the ending and everything. It was fan-fucking-tastic. And I have a very deep love for this series, and thank God I don't have to pay for the movie anymore, because they're sending me a free fucking ticket to go see it, because I purchased Legacy of Thieves Collection.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and I'm not excited for the movie at all because it doesn't have the one character that makes those games emotionally resonant, and that being Nate's wife, Elena. But I think these games look beautiful. They look fucking fantastic. I believe fidelity mode is outputting at 2160, and performance mode outputs at 1440. I don't think there's any dynamic resolution scaling. But I do know that Performance Plus mode outputs at 1080, but allows for 120 hertz, which is really something.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'm playing on Performance mode because it gives me a beautiful look, outputting at 1440, and a smooth 60 frames per second, which I'm geeked over.
Nice medium. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it's a nice in between. And it looks great. It looks great. I cannot wait until I get to the ending sections, because right now I just started the Scotland bit earlier today, and I cannot wait until I get actually to New Devon, to Libertalia, to see how all that looks. And I'm actually curious as to how the final fight between Nate and Ray Fadler is going to look. I think that's going to be beautiful. Yeah, it's blowing me away. Like I'm seeing it all over again for the first time. I remember just how hyped I was for Uncharted 4. I remember that. When that trailer came out where it had Sam and Nate talking, and it was like, oh, you can select which dialogue option you want to pick. And it's you can tell Sam about either the story of Uncharted 1, 2, or 3. I thought that was fucking dope. I was like, yo, that's cool. And I remember that section at the beginning where you're looking through all of Nate's stuff and he's reminiscing about the past. I thought that was cute. I fucking love this game. Yeah.
I love when games do that.
Yeah, it's great. And when you get to play Crash Bandicoot, that was also cute, which is weird now because Crash Bandicoot is now owned by Xbox. So it's weird. But Uncharted 4 is still just as good as the first time I played it. Not my favorite in the series, of course, that being Uncharted 3, which has the best set piece and musical score in the fucking franchise, in my opinion. But it is still a solid number 2, and I love it. So I'm glad to see it's doing well, and I'm glad to see that I'm glad to finally have the sort of excuse to play Lost Legacy, because I didn't really before. It sucks that they didn't bring over the multiplayer, though, because the multiplayer had hella microtransactions. So I guarantee a lot of people must have spent a lot of money on that. Now they're just like, well, fuck you. I know I certainly put a lot of time into Uncharted multiplayer. Let me tell you, I was smacked at Uncharted multiplayer, especially Uncharted 3 multiplayer. Want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
First time I ever got called the N-word online was on the Uncharted 3 multiplayer. Don't remember why that was so funny, but I was like 10 years old slapping the shit out of some adults, and he was like, you fucking nick. I was like, okay. How'd you know I was black? So it was certainly something. I love it.
That is a core memory right there.
Yeah, I was like, wow, I was a first. It was a first. It's like, how'd you know I was black? I didn't even have my mic on at that point, so thought I got doxxed. But yeah, I'm happy. But if you want to find out about that or anything else I've been doing this week, you can go find me on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, any social media platform of your choice at YVNGDENDE Young Dende. That is YVNGDENDE Young Dende. Now, I want to talk about some Star Wars stuff, but first, I want to talk about these trailers we've been getting for Life is Strange Remastered. You seen them shits?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. This looks so good.
Yeah.
So good.
So fucking good. Everybody looking smooth and sexy. I love it. You love to see it.
Right?
I saw that trailer where it showed Max in the hall. I was like, yo. And you see how she looks. I'm like, yo. It's like, it looks so fucking good. I so cannot wait to play this.
Oh yeah, finally.
4 fucking days. By the time this episode comes out, it'll be 2 days before.
Oh, we're almost done with January. Oh, why
Yeah,
did you bring
I know.
that to my attention?
I apologize. This year is going as slow as molasses and as fast as a speeding bullet at the same time. You know, it's crazy.
Holy shit!
It's weird. But it looks really good. Surprisingly, they must have put a lot of work into making this look good. I wonder if it's going to have fidelity and performance modes, but if they don't, I really wouldn't care. I remember the first game was like locked at 30 FPS, but I really didn't mind because it was a story-based game. But I'm pretty sure these are going to be running at 60, which would be. I mean,
from the trailers, I think those were at 60. So I would be surprised. I would be more surprised if they weren't at 60, considering these were games from like 2 generations ago. So.
They were available on PS3 and Xbox 360. Ugh.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's weird.
That's how I first got into Life is Strange.
Seriously?
Through the 360 episode 1 trial.
Oh, I remember that. But I remember not playing it because I eventually got it on PS Plus for free. And I was like, I guess I'll try this out. Oh, this is amazing.
It changed the trajectory of Adam's life.
It was in early August of 2016, I believe. That's when I got it. I was like, okay, that's good. Obviously. But in other news. Oh, go ahead.
No. I was just going to reiterate how beautiful these games look. I wasn't really going to add anything else.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to hold off on more Star Wars discussion because we got some interesting news this week. But I want to prelude that with episode 5 of the Book of Boba Fett called The Return of Mandalorian. I don't know if you watched it.
I have not.
I certainly did because I'm a fucking nerd. But something happened in this episode other than just the entire episode being about Din Djarin the Mandalorian. We got actually let me pull this up so I can show it to you.
Word?
Yeah, some interesting little Easter egg popped up, and I want to show it to you so you can see it. And it ties into this piece of news that I've got to lay on us. So here we go. Can you tell me what this is?
BD1.
Yes,
that's my boy.
BD1. That's a BD. That's a BD droid showcased in Book of Boba Fett, episode 5. Which ties in nicely with the news that Respawn Entertainment are working on 3 new Star Wars games, including a sequel.
3?
Three of them. One of them is a sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, I did hear about that. Yeah.
Yes.
But wait, so then what would the other 2 are those
No
any
idea.
Are any news or what? Are any news on those out yet or no?
Mm-mm. Just the sequel for Jedi Fallen Order. So that is something that's cool. We're getting a sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, which, in my opinion, better than Force Unleashed. But I loved that game a lot. Like, that game was so fucking good. I remember picking that up on launch day because I was able to get it and get home and play it before it actually launched on digital platforms. And that was like this. It was like a week or 2 after Mandalorian premiered. And so everybody in line at GameStop was talking about it. We were all having a nice fucking time. We were all getting the game. We were all so excited. I had already fully paid it off, so I just grabbed it and left. I drove like 10 miles to get back home. Because I had pre-ordered it before I'd kind of moved a little bit. And I was having such a good time playing it. I remember. Did you ever finish it?
Yeah, I beat it and I loved it.
Good stuff. Okay, so I remember. If you haven't played that game, spoilers by the way, and if you haven't played the game, what the fuck are you doing? Go play it.
Go play
fucking idiot. It's great. I remember I was in the second boss fight, or the final boss fight, I should say, with Trilla, the second sister. And I was in a party with my cousin Monica. Shouts out to her, much love. And we were just chatting. I was doing the boss fight, and then it got to the point where Anakin's Dark Deeds started playing. And I was like, no fucking way, because that's one of the best songs from Revenge of the Sith. And then Darth Vader showed up. I was like, no, it's Darth fucking Vader.
They fucking did it.
Yeah, that game was awesome, and then that ending it that way was even cooler. So I'm really excited about the sequel. I hope it's going to be great, and I've got a couple ideas as to what I'd like to see. I think the sequel is the perfect chance to reintroduce Starkiller into the Star Wars canon, because he's not canon as of right now. I think if Starkiller were to be made, you could make him an Inquisitor or a Sith assassin. It could work, either way. But I think that Starkiller could be effectively utilized as a sort of thematic foil to Cal. Whereas Cal spent all of the first game, repairing his bond with the Force, and that is what Seer ended up doing towards the end a little bit. And I think that, we can take this and we can have the second game be about him strengthening his bond with the Force and learning the place of himself and his friends within it. And I think that, we can see Cal learning to become a vessel for the Force, that he can be a tool for the Force, and the Force is not a tool for him. And I think that, we can have Starkiller at the other end of that spectrum, thinking that the Force is a tool to be used, that it is, for him to manipulate, because, the whole point behind Starkiller is that he is the Force Unleashed. He is this sort of avatar for destruction, and the Force is his playground, So I think that if we do choose to reintroduce him, which we totally can, we can also introduce other characters like, Rom Koda or Juno Eclipse or Proxy, and it'd all work. Given the time period, it just wouldn't be so fucking, it wouldn't just have this grand sense of purpose, like the original Force Unleashed game did. So I think it could work. I think it would be fantastic. But I'm very excited. I cannot wait.
Yeah, that's fucking cool. That is sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember when that game came, when you first started playing, I was like, yo, let me see your lightsaber. No homo though. It was funny. That was such a good gimmick in that game, building your lightsaber and all that.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people were like, a lot of you guys wouldn't be playing this game if it didn't have the Star Wars name on it. I was like, yeah, I wouldn't. I would not.
You know what? Fair enough. Yeah.
So I really wanted to play because it was a fucking Star Wars game. People were like, yeah, but it's like Dark Souls. I was like, so? It's got Star Wars on the box.
Holy shit! It has a third-person camera with some sort of melee weapon. It's a Dark Souls. It's Dark Souls.
You're telling me this is a third-person game focused on melee combat with a heavy focus on parrying? Oh, it's gotta be Dark Souls.
Oh, it's fucking Dark Souls.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that, and I was like, so? Who gives a shit? I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna play it regardless. It's got Star Wars on the box. I played Star Wars Squadrons. I didn't like it very much, but I still bought it and played it because it's Star Wars on the box. I'm a sucker. I'm a fucking nerd. I can't help it. I apologize. I actually enjoyed Battlefront 2015 for your fucking information. I was putting content out when that game came out, actually. I was getting hundreds of views on my Battlefront videos back in the day, and then I privated them because they are incredibly embarrassing. But I was still doing it, because I had a love for the game. December 2015 was a godlike time to be a Star Wars fan, let me tell you. It was a month after launch of Battlefront. I was enjoying it. We just gotten the Jakku map. Force Awakens was starting to come out. It was such a fucking glorious time. Man, I miss those days. But I mean, Battlefront 2 was also good. It wasn't good at launch, but it's good now. It's fucking great now, actually. It's one of my favorite Star Wars games ever now. I still play it regularly these days with my friends. I had a lot of fun playing it back when it was still getting updates. Me and my friend Manny, we would go and we would stomp on children in Heroes versus Villains. Before they changed it to be just Team Deathmatch, it was like, they changed it because when it launched, it was like, 4v4, one side light side, one side dark side, one character, one hero / villain gets marked, and you have to take them out to score a point. There was like first to 4 or 5 wins. That was great. Then they changed it because people were like cheating a lot, and so they just made it a 35 kill team deathmatch.
How are you able to cheat that? That's weird.
A lot of people would like pick tricky characters that were hard to kill, and then they would get marked, and they would just like run to the other side of the map, and it'd be really difficult to kill them. But that was the skill gap, is that you could absolutely kill them.
Yeah.
I remember me and my friend Manny, we would have a tactical call out, so we would play it. And I would always play as Han Solo, and he would always play as Luke Skywalker. Then Anakin came out, and he would always play as Anakin. And I would sort of switch between Han and Obi-Wan. It was great. But my Han Solo was absolutely busted, but he's nothing compared to my Darth Vader. My Darth Vader is fucking cracked in that game. I got him to like level 200 shit. It was great. I love Battlefront. It was fantastic. But
man, this is a Battlefront 2 sweat.
I was absolutely. I barely even played the main modes like Supremacy and whatnot. I was all about heroes and villains. This is not to say that I didn't play those shooter modes, because I got my assault and heavy classes way past the level, way past the level 40, which is the level where you unlock everything. I got them way past there, way past level 100, way past level 150. Okay, I was in them streets too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I mean, and my fucking infiltrator class, my ARC troopers were going hard too. But Battlefront 2 is such an it is stained by the legacy of when it first released. Rightfully so, but unfairly so in some points. So
you're telling me that I can't play HVV without crying? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm telling you can play HVV without crying, but the people who are playing HVV now are way better than people who will start playing HVV now as well. So.
Yeah.
I go on there and kick some ass, but the skill ceiling is fucking on Saturn right now. So.
Because the people that stuck around with that game have probably been playing it for
years?
a little while, maybe,
5 years.
Later
this year it'll be 5 years.
Nothing too major. Just a little bit longer than everyone else.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. It's great. But I think you should give it a try. There's some good stuff in there. Campaign might not be great, but the actual multiplayer, the actual focus of it, fun as fuck. The ship combat was so good they made a whole game based on it. So you know what? Star Wars Squadrons, not the best game by any stretch, but still a fun one. And that game actually had a competitive scene, which is really odd considering.
Wait, how? What?
Yeah, Star Wars Squadrons.
I guess you literally can make any game competitive, but
yeah, but that game, the whole point of that game is that it is the ship combat from Battlefront made into its own game, and it's a multiplayer game. So it's like, okay, you get 2 teams, they've got their ships. A lot of people played it in VR and competed in VR. I know, I think Sam Witwer, who's the actor for Starkiller and Maul and Sidious these days in terms of VA, I think he participated in some of those tournaments actually, because he has a Twitch channel.
Okay.
I know certain YouTubers who are holding tournaments. It was a pretty decent time in the first couple months of launch. I don't know how it's looking now. I haven't played it since it first released, but I thought it was pretty decent. Man, I should probably re-download it and boot it up. I think that game is also on EA Play and is optimized for Xbox X and S. So there also might be that.
Oh, okay.
Might be on PC Game Pass too, but I don't know. But that game does have VR, and the VR is fucking busted. It's so good.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, where it's like you can like look around the inside of your ship and everything. It's fucking godlike. So, man, I'm a fucking Star Wars fanatic, but
Oh, for real?
Yeah, for real.
Couldn't tell.
For real. But yeah, I mean, all that being all said, going back to episode 5 of the Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett. Jesus Christ, called it the Mandalorian. It's weird considering Book of Boba. Jesus, fuck. So many Boba. That's what we're watching. We're watching Boba. That's what we're watching. Fantastic show, all things considered. Boba. That shit was airing on Toonami back in the day. It was good stuff.
It gets better once you learn how to pronounce it.
It is Boba. That's what it is. I will type it out. It is. This looks weird as fuck when you see it. Bobo dash Bobo dash Bo. There you go. Looks weird.
Lovely name.
Hey man, this show is fantastic.
Sure break into the mainstream for sure.
It's an old ass show. It ended in like the mid 2000s. It played on Toonami back in the day, back when they were still syndicating Cowboy Bebop and Full Metal and Full Metal Brotherhood and Naruto. Man, they were playing mid 2000s. Toonami had an undefeated roster. They had One Piece, Bleach, Cowboy Bebop, Full Metal, and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Naruto. They had Bobo. Damn, what else they have? They had Dragon Ball back in the day too. Man, fucking mid 2000s Toonami was crazy. That shit was hot. Then it got canceled.
Mm-hmm.
What a disappointing time that was. Staying up late on like Friday nights was different without Toonami.
It wasn't the same no more.
You either knew you had to go to bed when they either started playing King of the Hill or playing Cowboy Bebop. You know.
Oh yeah.
I think we all owe Adult Swim a fucking thank you for keeping Toonami relevant, because I would not have discovered Cowboy Bebop if it were not for Toonami. You know.
Damn.
Yeah, like that's where I saw it for the first time, because it was constantly syndicated. It was like 2006, 2008, you know, somewhere in that time period.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they were playing it. It was like, holy shit, what's this jazz? I like jazz.
Do you remember that like weird ass time period? I don't remember exactly when it was, but they were showing the Batman and Superman animated shows on there for a little bit.
What do you mean, like the animated series?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I don't remember them ever airing Batman and Superman the animated series. That's odd.
It's totally a thing that happened.
Damn, that's crazy. You know, the most memories I have from watching those shows were watching them on old DVDs that I had, or that my dad let me watch, I should say, because they were like his. But that's where I watched a lot of like Justice League and Batman Beyond, because Batman Beyond ended before I could watch TV like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Justice League was airing Justice League Unlimited, so like most of my shit was spent watching those old DVDs. Man, I spent a lot of time watching DVDs. That's how I got to watch a lot of old shit that I shouldn't have been watching. But man, there was this. You know what show from that time period I think is absolutely under fucking rated, needs to come back?
Which one?
Hey, you remember that fucking show?
I vaguely remember that.
Crypto the Super Dog featuring Ace the Bat Hound.
The Super. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're making a movie based.
Forgot about this show.
I think they're making a movie based on Crypto the Super Dog. I think later this year, but yeah, this show, this Crypto the Super Dog was an absolutely undefeated show. This show is fan-fucking-tastic. And it's just lost in the mid-2000s era of DC shows, because there's a lot of mid-2000s DC shows that were just shit.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? Yeah, like Legion of Superheroes, that was with like Teenage Superman. That show, no one remembers that show. I do, but no one fucking remembers that, because that show is mid. Okay, like I only remembered that show because I think I saw it listed on like HBO Max or something, and like my third eye just got blasted open. Like, holy shit! I remember they had McDonald's toys this show. Like, I don't know, like mid 2000s like superhero cartoons was was just firmly in the hands of Marvel, because that was when Spectacular Spider-Man and Wolverine and the X-Men were coming out, as well as Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and those are three of the fucking hottest superhero shows to ever release.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what show is also hot, but nobody was also hot and like actually kind of advanced. You're gonna fucking hate me for saying this, or think I'm weird for saying this.
The Superhero Squad.
Hero Up. It's that like kids cartoon based on Marvel.
Oh, ew! What?
Superhero
Yeah,
Squad.
I had to look it up because I couldn't remember what you were talking about. And ew, why?
Let me tell you. This show actually has some insanely like out of left field adult jokes. It's on Disney Plus. It is wild. The kind of deep Marvel ass pulls that came out of this show. I'm telling you, it is a children's show that is written by adults who know their shit. Okay, like it is weirdly good.
I hate everything about this. The art style is just I want to kill myself. Like these are toys that I would get out of like a McDonald's.
I believe they have Happy Meals with those toys in it. My little brother used to watch that, and I would like watch it with him. I was like, "Holy shit, man! I know about these guys," because I would read them in my dad's comics. So it's like, okay. So it's like they have some real insane, like the Punisher was in that show. Like,
yo,
let me find the clip.
We're nothing but white blood cells, hunting the infection called crime, a sickness that sneaks in through the cracks, the way that Brussels sprouts sneak onto a plate of delicious macaroni and cheese.
Oh, it's Ray Stevenson who voiced it? Oh my god! That's insane! Ray Stevenson was the voice. This dude played him in like in Punisher Warzone.
I'm sorry. Ray Stevenson played Punisher in what?
In the movie Punisher Warzone, which is the most violent superhero movie ever released.
And
then he voiced him on a kids show.
and then yeah, he just comes around and voices him here. That's
like
his character in this scene just looks so out of place. But it works.
Yeah, this shit is wild. It's like wildly entertaining. Like it's fucking insane. Oh man. Like you'd be surprised. There's a lot of mid 2000s Marvel cartoons that were just like absolutely undefeated, and then Disney bought Marvel and canceled them all, which is what happened to Spectacular Spider-Man. So
still depressed.
I very much disagree with that.
Why? Oh, I would have liked to see third season of the show just because I liked everything about the show. It's one of my favorite superhero shows like ever. And that's saying a lot because like I haven't read in like I'm not in those Spider-Man streets like you are, and it's still one of my favorites. So.
A lot of people who are deep in these Spider-Man streets like me think it's the best. I just disagree because I think that the Spider-Man the animated series from the mid 90s is so much fucking. It's so good. It's so good that when X-Men 97 got announced, a lot of people were like, "Hey, where's Spider-Man 94? When are we gonna get that?" I was like, yes! I don't want to watch it unless they bring back John Semper Jr., but you know what? Man, I fucking love that mid-90s show. It's so fucking good. It is so true to the fucking character. Like, you know how much love they had when they made that show is that I believe it was John Semper Jr. who would illustrate a comic book cover for every episode they made.
Oh.
Yeah, it's good. Like, oh man, I have such like I don't know. It's because I watched that show a lot when I was like a kid, and it was like before Spider-Man 3 came out. I would watch that show so fucking much,
religiously.
Yeah, I had like DVDs with like a bunch of arcs on it. I would just watch those a lot. I remember the one that I used to watch the most because I liked it was the mini arc with Daredevil. I thought that shit was cool. There was the one arc that had that had the recreation of Amazing Spider-Man number 33. 39. I was off by 6 issues. I was off by 6 issues. Because I've read like all the Spider-Man comics like ever. So hard to keep track of the earlier ones. Because I've only read those like once or twice, and it was like, okay, that was a fun novelty read. Now let's go read the fun stuff. Because honestly, I think Stan Lee is way too overrated as a writer. Way too overrated.
Overrated?
As a writer, yes. You know why? Because he didn't write most of his comic books.
He didn't. Yeah, that is true.
Which a lot of people would be like, what do you mean by that? And it's like, well, he wrote the synopsis and he wrote the dialogue, but he didn't like dictate the flow of the story or anything. That was mostly Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko's doing. But you know, but that ain't none of my business. People don't talk about that. Because if you're like a Marvel fan who's only watched the movies, you'd be like, oh, Stan Lee's the creator of Marvel. He's the one who did everything. No, he didn't.
No.
Most of that credit should fall to Jack Kirby and Steve, especially Jack Kirby for creating a lot of that Marvel shit. And it was, oh my God, who was it? Jim Shooter. It was Jim Shooter. That's his name. Who's the one who really rectified a lot of that in the late 70s. So, but talking on and on about comic book history is something that I don't want this podcast to become.
You know, it feels like they come up every other, if not every other episode. So, you know, at this fucking point, if you're listening to this podcast, you know what to expect. You know what's coming.
If you're listening to this podcast, you should have a Marvel Unlimited subscription. Okay. That's what you should have.
True.
If you don't have one, get one. It's good stuff. You get like almost every Marvel comic ever for $10 a month. So what's this about Dark Souls you were telling me about for the podcast?
Ooh, brother. Dark Souls?
Ooh.
Is this like the Dark Souls of Dark Souls?
This is the Dark Souls of podcasts.
Oh, shit.
Because it's hard to listen to. Okay.
You know, like, okay, this is before I talk about Dark Souls, I was having this thought earlier, right? Have you played Sonic Forces?
No. I haven't.
Not. Okay. So,
Sonic Forces is the one where you get to create your own OC, right?
Yeah, that's
I have
exactly the one.
In my library because it was given away for free like a couple years ago, and I was just like, maybe I'll play this. I just never did.
You just didn't.
If you want me to play a modern Sonic game, you'd have to pay me a lot of money. So, you know what?
Okay. So given that you have not played the game, I just want you to listen to this real quick. This is an actual song from the game. Like, this is
Infinite featuring Tyler Smith and Andy Bain. Who the fuck is Dylan, first off? It's a weird name for a Sonic character. Why does his character look so fucking edgy?
All right, just listen to the song. Listen.
Before the song even starts, the comment that pops up under the comment says, okay, who gave Shadow a DeviantArt account?
Tallest of mountains, I am the roughest of waves. I'm the toughest of terrors, I am the darkest of days.
Are you sure this wasn't a sequel to Shadow the Hedgehog?
If they wanted to go full throat, they should have just gotten fucking Fred Durst to sing it. Like, it's just one of those days where you don't want to wake up. Everything is fucked. Everybody sucks. Oh God! Should I keep listening, or you want me to stop?
No. I just wanted to present that to you in case you wanted another reason to hate Sonic Forces. This song alone, right? This song alone is why I'm kind of looking at Frontiers with a little bit of concern. I know that, like, don't get me wrong. The rest of the game is okay, right? Like the I know that we were talking about Dark Souls at the beginning of this, but you know what? Fuck that. I'll go down to that later. We've got nothing but time here. So The rest of the game is honestly pretty fine. It's just a modern Sonic game. That has its connotations. You know what to expect when you play a modern Sonic game.
Yeah.
But just looking at the writing, whoever the fuck decided at Sega that this game should even be released is kind of fire them, please. But at the same time, we're also getting Ian Flynn as the lead writer for Sonic Frontiers, which, if you don't know, he made most of the Sonic comics, and his work is pretty strong. Definitely stronger than whatever the fuck they were doing with Forces. Like, whoever wrote that game. Oh, God. Okay. But on to the Dark Souls information.
I never thought we would ever get complaints about the fucking writing of a Sonic game.
It's like it's weird to think about because it's not something like that you would primarily play a Sonic game for. You don't go to a Sonic game for the story. Like, yeah, it's good. It's good that that they're presenting some sort of narrative within the Sonic games, but like at the end of the day, it's a Sonic game. Who cares?
Boy, go fast, me no care.
Let me ask you, Adam. Have you ever wanted to play a video game? Like ever in your life?
No, I don't think I have.
Good, because you definitely won't be playing Dark Souls 3, and that's for sure.
Why not?
Well, maybe you will be able to, but for folks over on the PC platform, they will not be able to play Dark Souls 3 for a unspecified amount of time.
Did it get delisted or something?
No, it's still on the storefronts, but if you don't know, it's been taken offline. You can't log into the servers, you can't do any multiplayer, you can only play the game offline. It's still playable. Again, yeah, of course, you can still play it solo offline. And that's how I like to enjoy Dark Souls, unless, I'm playing with friends. So I'm not impacted by this change. However, people that do, that people that love PvP, and people that like playing with their friends, or whatever the case, those people are going to be impacted. You might be wondering, oh, why did Dark Souls 3 get taken offline? It's because their servers were flooded with hentai. No, nothing like that.
Oh wow, that would have been so much funnier.
Some hentai stopping something very important. I wonder where we've seen that before.
It is a force that can be used for good. Okay.
That is true. All right, so the community in Dark Souls 3, right? They discovered a vulnerability within DS3's netcode that allows for RCE, which stands for Remote Code Execution, and it essentially that just means that they can run any code on your computer, and without you giving like any consent. You can be in the same lobby as them, and they can do this, and you don't.
Oh, that's
you
bad.
Even know.
Oh, that's really bad.
Yeah, that is very bad. So they can do stuff like steal your information, and even scary. Oh, maybe not scarier, but definitely not any better. They can go as far as to break your computer.
Ouch.
Yeah, I think there was. I saw some Discord interactions where people were saying that their computers were bricked, but I don't actually think that they were, considering that this issue was found and not taken care of, but it was taken offline within like 2 days. So I seriously doubt that any legitimate real harm was done. But it's still scary. It's still scary to think about, especially with Elden Ring coming out. Assuming, because we don't know, we don't have any information on this, assuming that Elden Ring is using the same netcode as DS3, this kind of, I don't know, I feel like it brings up like 3 different scenarios. I feel like the first one would be just the game releases with online, and the exploit is still intact, and I don't know if FromSoft would just, risk the PC player base for just wanting to play the video game. So I don't know if that's really realistic, but it still is possible. I mean, we've seen worse. Another thing I could see though, my I, I wouldn't be too upset, but I would also kind of be a little bummed out. Mainly because of spoilers. I want to go into Elden Ring as blind as possible. The only thing I've seen on it is the Game Awards trailer, and that's like basically it.
Mm-hmm.
The PC version could get delayed, and yeah, for the same reasons, I don't think that FromSoft would just launch the game without online working, since it's such it's such an important feature to have in Dark Souls. That's what a lot of people played the game for. And also, the exploit could be fixed and we all just live happily ever after. But, it's a matter of time because we really don't know the gravity of the situation. We really don't know like how this exploit is going to be fixed. We don't know if just the infrastructure of their net code is going to like change drastically. We don't know anything. They just said, "Hey, we're taking the game offline," or sorry, we're taking Dark Souls 3 offline, and that's like all the communication we've gotten. And you know what? I'm kind of glad that that they haven't communicated anything on it, because that just makes it easier for people to, for evil people. Because if you actually go out of your way to do this to anyone, you're a fucking loser. You're a fucking evil human being that you should kill yourself now. And I don't say I don't say that lightly. I'm telling you should kill yourself now. But yeah. So I'm still maintaining my hype for Elden Ring. I'm super excited for it. I hope that this exploit is fixed. But at the same time, if it isn't, and the game has to be delayed, or if it doesn't come with online at launch, we'll see. We don't know at this point. Are you interested at all in Elden Ring?
Well, it's Dark Souls. I will have to.
Dark Souls. Holy shit!
I have been keeping an eye on it. That is as much as I can say. I've been keeping an eye on it.
Okay.
Once it comes out, I will decide whether or not I'm going to get it, but I'm not going to pre-order it, is what I can say right now. So,
pre-ordering is a bad practice anyways, but
absolutely still do it. Yep. I feel like if I found out that I could do that to somebody, I would probably just put hentai on their computer. Like nothing serious. Just be like, here, let me let you know that you're fucking exposed, but do it in a way that's really funny. So,
yeah. just open up like 30 tabs of hentai.
I wouldn't even do that. What would be really funny is to lock them out of their computer. Is to lock them out of their computer and shit, lock them out of their controls.
That's so.
Listen. So that they're watching it, and then just like open up Notepad and just. Hello, everybody. Today we're going to show you how to not get locked out of your computer. And then I would just, for language control, just leave them freaked out, and then they'd fix their shit. So it'd be really funny. Reinstall Windows XP on a VM or something just to get that real early 2000s effect. I had to watch one of those videos the other day, actually.
Oh,
I was
really?
trying to get my PC copy of Call of Duty World at War working so I could play custom zombies and play with mods and shit. And I was watching one of those YouTube tutorials like, man, this takes me back. Hey, you want to hear something really funny? You want to hear a really funny news story?
Mm-hmm.
Let me pull it up on twitter.com.
Oh, twitter.com.
It doesn't involve twitter.com. It involves a company that's much worse than them.
Oh, okay.
Ubisoft man in
Is
charge
this
of their
more
NFT Quartz
NFT?
project
Okay.
says the negative
how did I
reaction
know?
was
How did I
expected and explains that players just don't understand it. Quote, "We know it's not an easy concept to grasp," unquote. They will continue their plans with NFTs. Because we are stupid. We are stupid and don't get it. That's
Yeah.
why they only recorded like 5 transactions on the blockchain. Because we are stupid.
Yeah, the gamers don't know what they want.
I think we all confidently know that we do not want NFTs. Like, I think we can all say that confidently. Or like the people who are into NFTs are like the most niche of niche of niche of niche people who are into crypto. So it's like, okay.
True.
And if you watch that video by Dan Olsen over at Folding Ideas that I showed you,
You did,
about
yeah.
NFTs, then you'd have a better understanding of it, and that NFTs are fucking stupid, and likely will be more meaningful in the future, but right now are fucking worthless. So
They're being used to sell monkey JPEGs. So
being used to scam people.
even if it is right, let's put ourselves in it like 10 years in the future where like the NFT technology or however it's properly phrased,
The blockchain technology.
Yeah. Like it actually serves a purpose and it becomes useful. I don't think that they will ever be able to get like over this current over the current state of NFTs. That's never gonna go away, right?
I
So
think
even
it
if
won't
they
go
do-
away because there are scams in every financial system. But I think the future that NFT bros envision, like, oh, you can put your house deed on the blockchain. It's not going to work out like that. It's not going to be that way. No,
not at all.
But in order for it to get to a place where NFTs are more than just a monkey JPEG, you're going to have to. The technology is going to have to develop. I mean, Twitter tried to prevent people from right-click saving their fucking hexagon PFPs, but completely neglected the fact that in order for an image to be displayed on any kind of screen, it has to be downloaded first. Henceforth, meaning that you could just inspect element and save the fucking image.
Yup, I love that. I love
fucking
that.
idiots. We will always right-click and save our NFTs, damn it. But Ubisoft calling us stupid for not understanding the NFTs. You know what's never happened to me, Joe? I've never been sued for sexual harassment. So, fuck you, Ubisoft. Guys haven't made a good game since 2017.
And that's pushing. That's pushing.
I know. I firmly believe that the last good game Ubisoft made was Assassin's Creed Rogue in 2015. Maybe no, 2014. 2014. Ubisoft hasn't made a good game in 8 years.
They're still somehow. They're somehow here.
It's all been mid. I've liked certain aspects of the games that they make, but they're dead middle. Man.
See, I would completely write them off, but I'm still waiting on information when it comes to Beyond Good and Evil. Beyond Good and Evil 2. So if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for them showing it off and then giving me hope and and then probably just leaving it in the dust because that's how it's been for the past how almost 20 fucking years since the first Beyond Good and Evil came out. Hey,
it's not coming out. It's not coming out, dude. It's not coming out. It's not coming out.
I know.
Don't get your hopes up. I'm not giving crickets because Beyond Good and Evil's bad. Beyond Good and Evil's great.
Oh, okay. That's what I got from that. I was gonna be so sad. I was gonna be so sad.
Because the way that you feel about Beyond Good and Evil 2 is the way that I feel about the Prince of Persia remake. Which we know shockingly little about for a game that's supposed to come out this year.
Supposed to, yeah.
I think we know more about Overwatch 2 than we know about these games collectively. And that's really saying something, considering Overwatch 2 was only revealed just to get heat off of Activision Blizzard's back for being pro-China.
Being gross.
Yeah. But hey, at least we know that McCree's name's changing.
What is it with Now that we're talking about Ubisoft, I wanted to bring up two different things. What is it with Ubisoft just absolutely pissing all over Tom Clancy?
Oh, dude. You know, there's a saying in the games industry that nobody works harder than the corpse of Tom Clancy. You know what's really funny is that I have a very unique insight into Tom Clancy's history. You know why?
Did you actually
give me 5
read?
seconds? Give me 5 seconds. Give me 5 seconds.
Guys, I have a feeling that he's not just gonna get one; he's gonna get multiple. And you're gonna hear that.
You know what? I'll just get them all. Fuck it. I'll
Oh,
get them
yep.
all.
You see?
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
He did the fine.
These aren't the only ones that I have either. These are just the only ones I have on tap, on file.
Damn. For real? How much more you got back there?
Okay. I gotta bring these over to my desk, and then I gotta take a picture of them, and then I gotta send the picture to you. Okay. All right, let me put my headphone in. Hello?
Hola.
I don't expect you to be able to read the titles of all of these.
So you have actually read Tom Clancy's books.
Okay, you
or
can
novels,
read these.
however they are. However they are.
Give me 1 second, I can turn my light back off.
Okay. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
Okay, let me turn my light off. Okay. I know it's hard to read the titles on some of those, but I do own quite a few Tom Clancy novels, and I've read them. They're very long, especially that one that's the third one down, Rainbow Six. I read that when I was a junior in high school. It's a very good book. So let me tell you, when I know my shit about Tom Clancy, I know my shit about Tom Clancy. Okay. So no one works harder than the corpse of Tom Clancy. No one beats that corpse harder than Ubisoft, attaching his name to games that he doesn't write. You know why he doesn't write them? Because he's been dead for like 20 fucking years. He's been dead. I think he died before Splinter Cell came out, I think. Let me look this up. Fuck, he's been dead a long ass time.
Yeah.
Tom Clancy. His books are also very boring. No, he died in 2013. Never mind. Holy shit. God, this guy looks like he writes military novels. What a fucking jabroni. Jesus. This guy also wrote The Hunt for Red October, which is really funny. And Patriot Games.
All right, so since you're so well tuned with Tom Clancy, can you tell me where the fuck X Defiant falls in there? And Extraction? Like
X Defiant?
Oh, I mean, yeah,
Ubisoft.
It was revealed. It was revealed last year. It's
free to
supposed
play,
be a
fast-paced
66.
arena shooter that combines intense gunplay. I don't fucking know. I think it's because Tom Clancy's a brand that Ubisoft can just use because they own the license to it. Rainbow Six Extraction only fits because it's a spin-off of Rainbow Six Siege, which is a spin-off of Rainbow Six as a whole, which I'm pretty sure that the connections that Rainbow Six has a whole are very tenuous to the novel. I think actually one or two characters from Rainbow Six, the novel, appear in Rainbow Six Siege. I think. Let me see. Operators, I think like Ding Chavez and fucking what was his name? John Clark appear in this game, I think. John Clark was also the protagonist of Without Remorse, which is another book that I read. I don't have it on tap, but I have read it. Yeah, it's really weird. What games has he appeared in? No, he only appeared in... Last game he appeared in was Rainbow Six Vegas 2. Man, it's been a while since I played that fucking game. Oh yeah, and he was in that Jack Ryan show. That's cool.
I heard good things about it, but you know, it's on Prime. I think it's on Prime Video, so I haven't watched it. But
yeah, that's why I don't watch anything on Prime Video. Let me see. John Clark. What was he in? Oh, he hasn't appeared in the video games either. So damn, I guess it doesn't have any ties to the Rainbow Six book at all. Jesus. Oh, never mind. He appeared in the video games, but it doesn't say which one he appeared. It doesn't say which one he appeared in. Given the fact that Ding Chavez appeared in Rainbow Six Vegas, I guess he must have been in that one too. But those games also do feature characters from the books, obviously. But that's weird. That's really weird. They just have a game with Tom Clancy's name on it without any characters he invented. Oh, right. They've been doing that for a long ass time. So.
Yep.
Oh, dude. I can't believe Tom Clancy's name is on Splinter Cell. And like eventually they just took his name off. Like it got so big they didn't need it anymore. Oh, never mind. Splinter Cell Blacklist is still listed as Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist, despite the fact that on the box art it just says Splinter Cell Blacklist.
Splinter Cell, yeah.
Oh, that game is 9 years old. Oh! We're never getting another Splinter Cell again. God, this is to become the depression
and I hope
cast.
we don't. I hope we don't. I'm gonna be real.
Really?
I hope we don't. Dude, look at where Ubisoft is right now. You think that another Splinter Cell game is a good idea?
No. That's why they should license it out, but they will never do that. I think that if they licensed out Splinter Cell to another developer, we could potentially get a game on the level of Pandora Tomorrow. Which is, in my opinion, the best one. That's my opinion, though. Which, fun fact, you can still play Spies vs. Mercs online today through PCSX2. You still can.
Oh. Okay.
Same way you can play the games like SOCOM online, you can still play Spies vs. Mercs online. So, man, Pandora Tomorrow is so fucking good. I should probably read
I'm more of a chaos theory person myself.
Chaos theory, I honestly can't hear that debate. Chaos theory has a lot of sexy shit in it. I do not fault you for thinking that. In fact, I think that's a pretty based take.
Based and red pilled.
That is based and chaos theory pilled. Man, I need to go back and replay some of these games, man. It's been a minute. PS2 had so many good fucking games. But
so many good games.
But it's weird that that we'll never get another Splinter Cell game again, because Splinter Cell was such a foundational series, honestly, for me. Like
really?
Pandora, like the original Splinter Cell and Pandora Tomorrow are two of my favorite PS2 games ever. They're great. And it's like I used to play those a lot when I was a kid. I used to have a hard time playing them because I wasn't too good at being sneaky, but I still thought they were fucking awesome. You know. And it's like that like Sam Fisher's triple night vision is like fucking iconic, dude.
Yeah.
And it's like it makes me sad that we'll never get another one again, considering just how like baked into my mind those games are, and how legendary of a character Sam Fisher is, and how legendary of a voice Michael Ironside gave. It's on the same level as someone like like Max Payne, you know.
Yeah.
It's on that same level.
And then they went ahead and completely ruined it when they introduced him in Rainbow Six Siege.
They introduced. Oh, that's right. They did introduce Sam Fisher in that.
Yeah, I think his name is Zero, or his operator name at least is Zero. And I don't really know. I don't see the correlation, but
he also wasn't voiced by Michael Ironside. But you know what? Yeah, but he wasn't. Yeah, he was also in Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Yeah, he was in Breakpoint. I'm assuming as a DLC or
I believe so. Because it was because Breakpoint came out in 2019. I believe it reviewed awfully. Because I remember him being in Ghost Recon Wildlands, because that was where we got that like Easter egg where he like talked about Solid Snake. And how Solid Snake was gone and never coming back. That shit was sad. You know?
I haven't played any of the Ghost Recon games. Like even
neither have I. I think I only played the original Ghost Recon, that's it.
Like I vaguely remember seeing what is it? Let me just look it up. I vaguely remember seeing Future Soldier on like store shelves, but I was like, ooh. I'm just gonna go play Call of Duty.
Huh. Yeah,
and then and then looking at it now with Wildlands and Breakpoint. I don't think I'm missing much.
No, doesn't. No. It seems like the reason why I didn't want to play Wildlands is because it looked like The Division but bigger, and I hated The Division. I didn't. Well, I should rephrase it. I don't hate The Division. I didn't hate the first Division game. I actually quite liked it.
You're right.
It is boring. It was only fun when you're in the dark zone against other players, you know. And that's how I feel about the larger looter shooter genre as a whole. I think all of them are boring, which is why I cannot for the life of me play Destiny, which is weird considering I have.
Which is good. You shouldn't.
Yeah, because I'm based and not Destiny pilled. No, I don't know. It's not like a genre I can get into, but Ghost Recon Wildlands was like that, but like bigger, and I was like, no. And I was briefly interested in it because it had they had the Splinter Cell crossover, and they eventually had a crossover with Predator that I heard about from my Earth Space Science teacher of all people.
Predator.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was apparently really good, and I was like, interesting. Never played it, so I'm pretty sure the servers are probably shut down or whatever. I wouldn't doubt it because they don't support games like that for a while. They don't support games like that for long. But
like 3 years, and then time to shut the servers down.
Yeah, which is weird considering those games are mostly online. But I don't know. I might maybe just to see if it's good or not. But maybe I'll just rewatch Noah Caldwell Gervais' video about it and never play it. But you know what? Fuck. I'm so fucking tired of Tom Clancy's corpse. Like, I don't know why they keep putting his name on this shit when the man's been dead for 9 years, and the only thing his name does these days is just ghostwrite books that are written by other people, you know. So I don't get it. Stealth as a genre has kind of died, you know.
It has. It certainly has.
Like Thief attempted a comeback, and that comeback was successful, and they did nothing about with it.
Like, oh, for real? This is doing well.
The only stealth action games I can think of that's still alive is Hitman.
Yep.
Which had one of the best games of the year last year, Hitman 3, winner of the AJAH Bronze Award, by the way. Shush. But I think it's the only one that survived. And it's been around just as long. It came out, I think the first Hitman game came out like 2001, 2002. It's been around just as long as Splinter Cell.
Shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's been around just as long as Splinter Cell, and it outlived it, which is crazy. Like, Hitman survived its weird action game middle child, and Splinter Cell didn't. Like,
yeah, actually,
Hitman survived Absolution, and then went back to its roots and made one of the greatest stealth games ever made. I know they're all separate games, but I consider the World of Assassination trilogy to be all one game because the gameplay doesn't change at all between the games. So it's like dropping Hitman 2016 and Hitman 3 and 2 and all those games. That is one of the greatest stealth games ever made, by far. And it's crazy that came after Hitman Absolution, considering Splinter Cell was in the exact same situation a year after Absolution came out. Because Blacklist dropped in 2013 and Absolution dropped in 2012. And both of those games were shit. You know.
That's the only thing I heard about those. Oh, I always forget the term, but I don't know if it's the whatever generation it was for the 360 and PS3 games. I heard that those were not too hot.
Yeah, I do think, didn't people like Splinter Cell Blacklist? Not Blacklist, Conviction though?
I wouldn't know. I would not know.
I thought people said that Splinter Cell Conviction was good, but Blacklist was shit. Damn, Splinter Cell Blacklist on sale for $750 on Steam. That's funny. Like a Splinter Cell Double Agent was weird, wasn't it? I don't remember hearing too many good things about that. And what the fuck is this? Splinter Cell Essentials? Weird.
Is
Because
that just a collection or
I think so. It's a PSP title. No, of course.
it's a PSP? Okay.
Yeah.
That explains
Saying
it.
that really allows games to just exist in the middle ground. But the first 3 Splinter Cells are undefeated, though. Like the first
That's
one,
nice.
Pandora Tomorrow and Chaos Theory are all fucking great.
They also had that oh man, fuck. I was thinking of a different one that released. It was like a mobile, not a mobile. I think it was a GBA game, or like it was some handheld game. I have to look it up now. Hang on, I gotta find out.
Splinter Cell Blacklist. No, stealth. Stealth action redefined on Splinter Cell. Yeah, it's the first Splinter Cell, but it's on Game Boy Advance.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's what it is. Oh, let me watch this video. Oh, it certainly looks like a GBA board. Oh God, it is a GBA game. It is. This is Splinter Cellvania is what this is. That's what this looks like. It looks like a Castlevania game. The Castlevania games on GBA were hot as fuck, though.
True.
That's the difference. So, I don't know. I might have to play this. I've never played this. I've only played the first 3 Splinter Cell games, and I believe I touched Conviction, but that's about it. Man, Splinter Cell really needs to make a comeback, but that's never going to happen. Not with current Ubisoft. Not with ever.
No, please.
Honestly, I hope Ubisoft dies. Just goes away. I think if we took all the current Ubisoft, if we took all the current Ubisoft studios and just made them their own studios, separate from the larger machine of Ubisoft, they would probably put out some great fucking games because they're all forced to make games the same way. I mean, they have a fucking school that teaches you how to make Ubisoft games, you know? So it's like if they just go and do their own thing, we could probably see more inventive and interesting uses of the Ubisoft formula. You know, I don't have a problem with like open world collectathons that most people do, but the problem is that Ubisoft doesn't innovate much. And when they do try to innovate, they don't innovate in the right way. That's why Assassin's Creed died, you know, because it's not that they didn't try to innovate, they just innovated terribly. So I think that if we allow those Ubisoft studios in like Shanghai, Milan, Montreal, Bucharest, if we allow all those studios to just do their own thing, we could see Ubisoft's design legacy, which has worked in the past with games like Assassin's Creed 2 and Far Cry 3 and whatnot. We can see those games, you know, those type of games still be made, but just made very differently than we're used to. And I think that could work.
Yeah.
But it just takes Ubisoft as a corporation dying first, which everybody would be happy about. So that's just me. Like, I don't know. I've never really thought about that before. But now that I think about it, I think that would be beneficial for everybody involved. It would give the devs more breathing room. It would certainly cut down the amount of sexual harassment that exists in that company.
Essentially. Damn, I need you to cut that out. There's no way everyone can hear me. Just
I will.
I think the idea is that this is good for everyone except Ubisoft, which is the perfect. That is what we need. That's what needs to happen. You know, fuck Ubisoft.
Fuck them. Because I just never thought about it before until now, and now that I think about it, yeah, they need to go, and those devs need to be released from the stranglehold that Ubisoft has them in.
From the Ubisoft prison.
Yeah. You got anything else?
I think that might be it.
Wow, what a podcast. That was nice. It was good. Yeah. It got very insightful towards the end.
Yeah, actually.
Wow. So I'd like to thank every one of you for listening to the podcast. Each and every one of you are beautiful and sexy in your own beautiful and sexy way. And I and Joe love you personally. So, don't forget to tune in next week. And don't forget to stream the Mari tape. Links in the description.